Hi, I'm Jen Turrell, and you're about to watch a Mastering Money Matters weekly blab with the women from my Mastering Money Matters group. This is a small group for women who are freelancers, entrepreneurs, and small business owners where we discuss the specifics of the finances that apply to you. We talk about launch cycles, irregular income, quarterly estimated taxes, and other things that are a little different from your general W-2 employment situation. So if this applies to you, come on in and join the conversation.
Hey, Niamh, we're going to jump to you next because Jennifer wants to go back. So do you want to tell us what you're up to these days?
Yeah, so I have kind of two businesses that I run side by side. So I started in the last year or so, I've started a business as an online business designer and a marketing strategist. So I help people to take what they have and design a business around it. So it's sort of not like the cookie cutter. It's saying, okay, well, what have you got and what kind of business model would that suit? And then I also help people who are, who are already established to figure out marketing that suits them. So it's all kind of taking you away from like the cookie cutter options and saying, what is actually going to work for you given your talents, your temperament, your circumstances. So that's my main business. But I actually had previously built a different business, and both of these businesses I built using video. So I decided, I don't know, about 6 months or so ago, I had all of these YouTube views and I have hundreds of videos and people would ask me questions about videos. So I started to also then teach video. So at the moment I'm teaching video marketing, how to make good videos with your iPhone, your smartphone, so low tech and high impact. So just like with my business, I'm very much about like letting people figure out what's going to feel good for them. And so it's like helping them to just get comfortable on video is my start. So I can't be restrained to just one thing. That's all my wild things. But yeah, so at the moment I'm working on a video challenge because I find that the biggest barrier to getting started on video for most people is simply fear of the camera, that it like feels a little bit awkward to talk to an inanimate object. And if you don't know how to make your videos look good, then it's kind of embarrassing to put them up. So I started running a 30-day video challenge, and I'm about to embark on the third set of it. And so it's really exciting. It's really, really fun, really kind of intense, great, fantastic time where people are practicing their videos every day. And by the end, they all get comfortable. It's really fun to like watch the transformation. So that's all the stuff I'm up to.
And I joined your video challenge. I'm excited to see it. I like us talking to each other because there are other people to talk to and we can bounce ideas and have a conversation. I do find the video, just like staring at this or staring at the computer, really hard. And I do tend to try to script things and then you mess them up and then you're like, oh, I have to start over again. Even just the short videos that I've done at the beginnings of each lab module in the Thinkific for the Mastering Money Matters group. Some of those I did 4 or 5 times, and it's only like a 30-second video because I try to learn something and then I stumble over a word. And so I was like, I have this YouTube channel. I'm mainly using it for these labs now to promote the different business members, business owners in the group. But I haven't made any of my own videos except the intro. And I did the intro. Melissa got on Zoom with me, and then I don't know how to edit just one. She's much better at editing than I am, so she ended up making it look like it was just me on the screen, and really it was 2 of us talking to each other. So I'm excited. Yeah. Can you share the link over into the comments over there?
Yeah, actually, Jen, if you have a link handy, it's kind of a. Yeah, you should. You go ahead and put a link up there. Sorry, it's really awkward for me as well with my really bad internet. If I open up something else other than what I'm streaming on, I go really fuzzy.
Oh,
but yeah, I was just gonna say, Jen, that's really, really normal. I think that these days entrepreneurs sort of have this sense that video would be really useful in their business because it cuts through a lot of the need to say the right words, to grab someone's attention and to like get them to actually pay attention to you because they're seeing a real person So to your audience, it feels like you're talking to them, so they don't feel weird and awkward. You feel really weird and awkward, but to them, it feels like having a real conversation. So it's, probably one level down from face to face, but it still generates a really, really powerful relationship. And what I find really interesting, though, is that even though most people know that, and they know that video would like cut out a lot of the efforting that they do, it's just that fear of getting in front of camera stops them from ever doing it. So it's still quite a, I don't know, to me, it's quite a wide open form of marketing, because even though people know it's powerful, there's this huge barrier to starting. And like for me, it was just creating several hundred videos. Actually, at this point now, I can't tell the difference between my voice in my head and my recorded voice. It's now the same voice because I've watched so many of my videos. And I was saying that to my partner this morning, and he said, yeah, apparently when that happens to people, when they've heard their voice a lot, once that disappears, it never comes back. It's like riding a bike. You never go back to feeling like your voice is weird. So, but yeah, so it really was, for me, it really was the practice, but I practiced in a very public way. I made my videos, I put them on YouTube, and I found that was really, really scary. So I wanted to create a way that people could just really focus down, get through the practice bit so that by the end they're comfortable. And like in the last challenge, it was so amazing. There was a girl who was so scared. She was literally shaking for her first few videos. Like she wasn't holding her camera, but you could see her shaking and her voice was shaking. And by the end, she started using video in her business, and she had all of these like really deep insights, and it gave her this confidence in herself, not just being on camera. So anyway, I could talk about this all day. I'm so passionate about it. It's so much fun.
That's really interesting. I feel like our kids are in a slightly different realm. Like I've noticed my 6-year-old, she has a couple of YouTube channels that she loves. We watched Charlie's Crafty Kitchen. Do you know that one, Niamh?
Yeah.
From a video marketing perspective, I think these two, this 8-year-old and this 5-year-old, make something like $123,000 a month.
Kids on YouTube are amazing.
They get millions of views. And I read a Forbes article on it, and then I checked it out, and my 6-year-old loves it. She wants to watch it all the time. She loves this makeup artist who turned herself and her friends into Disney characters. Her name's Promise. So we watched these, and the other day we were recording, like I was recording her do something, and at the end she goes, click below, and I was like, click below, or she said subscribe or something like that, because she's used to all the videos saying that.
Hearing over and over.
She's so prepped and ready for this world that some of us find, nerve-wracking. But to her, she sees it all on YouTube, so she's so comfortable with those phrases and the marketing of it, like, subscribe to my channel. And I'm halfway like, maybe I should give her a channel, Charlie's Crafty Kitchen. Nikki's cute, this funny thing. But then I'm also like, should I exploit my 6-year-old for marketing?
I know. It's kind of one of those scary things, but I think that they will have a totally different attitude towards it from what we have. Like, to us, Facebook feels pretty safe because it's still like text. It's still, one step removed, I think. So for our generation, that's a little bit more comfortable. But for them, I think it's going to be they have, I know Melissa on here does Snapchat. I've never touched Snapchat, but for them, I think it'll be very much these little moments where they're quite happy to hop on a camera and to share whatever's going on with them, with the world. And, like my daughter, she's in and out of my videos. Sometimes it's hard to keep her out, so I just have to let her come in and say hello, and then she'll happily be on her way. But for her, it's like she just gets really excited. And actually, now this is really random, but we have this very infamous home video from 1989 in my family, where it's a video of my dad filming some landscape. And in the background, there's a little Niamh there going, shine it on me, Daddy, shine it on me. So at that age, I was so excited about it. And I wanted to be in the spotlight. And then, obviously as I grew older, suddenly that became a lot less appealing. But now what's so appealing is not having to spend all the hours writing the words and not having to, come up with the right way to do it. Or for me, writing, I love writing, but copy is sort of, I find it doesn't sound like me. If I want to get someone's attention, I feel like I have to use jumpy language or catchy language and stuff. And so on a video, I can just turn it on and I can speak from my heart. And so then the people who are following me over time, they really get to know me. And when they're joining my things, they're like, they already have this really strong relationship. And I just think so worth getting over any fears to be able to market that way. So
actually, I've done the same thing, except I do it with the podcast. Like I've found content.
Yeah, it's your comfortable zone. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's fun because I did music for so long. You know, in college, for years after college, I ran a record label and did my own bands and other bands, and I got used to talking. Well, I wasn't talking, I was singing into a mic, but I'm pretty used to being with a mic and a computer and recording and then editing. So I've started using the transcript from my podcast to then go and make articles for guest posts and different things, because it's easier for me to get talking. And while the transcripts are super long, you know, if you talk for 10 minutes, it's way more text than an article will have, because there's fillers and you tell stories, you know, you get into things you wouldn't do normally. But I can cut a lot of it and get the essence, and then that makes a good 500 to 700 word article out of this, you know, 2,000 words that I spoke. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And you can hire the freelancers from that Emma's training to do that.
Well,
you know, it all is this beautiful world.
For the transcribing. But yeah, that's true. To have someone actually take a transcript and make it into an article, that would be good. That's true.
Yeah. I found that like for me, the toughest bit was always doing all the tasks, you know, like taking it and putting it in this place and then sharing it in this place and, you know, all those things. So I just recently hired a VA, and now I'm like unbelievably happy because I just record videos and then I dump them into Dropbox and she knows what to do with them. And so now I'm just doing the thing that's sort of my element. And I really do want to stress, I was not comfortable on video at the start. It wasn't like this was easy for me, but now this is my easy zone. So I kind of just do my thing and then let someone else handle it. And she is very organized. Like, Emma, you're absolutely right. That's the key, is finding someone organized who can like fill in those gaps for you.
But you do the video editing, right? Or does she do
I personally, right now, I do video editing, but that's one of the things that I train people on. So I'm also training her on video editing. So then she adds a skill that she can use in her VA work. And I get a video editor who, like, I'd rather work with, you know, a couple of close people and then just teach them the skills that I need once I found someone I like talking to.
Well, that's one of my things with video is, while I understand the audio part from doing records and stuff, I've really never done video editing. And that stopped me. Like, even just editing out things, topping and tailing. I can do all of that really easy with an audio track, but I don't, I hopped into your group the other day to see you doing your like editing co-working hour where I was like, oh, this does look trickier than just audio editing, you know?
For me, audio editing is terrifying because I've never done it, and I find that like I open the audio thing and I'm like, this looks like insane to me. So it actually ends up,
I can spot the ums or ahs, like I know the shape that it makes when I go and I can cut it.
Well, see, yeah, I use the audio. I use a lot of audio tricks. Like, so if I get to a point where I mess something up and I'm like, okay, I want to edit that bit out, I just stop and just sit there for a minute, like, or for 10 seconds, so that I know there's going to be an audio break in my audio line, and I can use that for editing. It's actually really, like, if you're used to looking at the audio line, that's the key. Like, you're going to find video editing super easy. It's like the exact same kinds of things. And actually, the one you jumped on, Jen, you jumped on toward the end when we were doing all the complex stuff.
Yeah,
but
it's like, what are you doing? I don't understand.
but it is actually really simple. Yeah, no, once you know the different terms, so it's kind of like, and Emma, you probably have this too with your people, where there's these, like, there's this language that you need to learn, and once you know the language, it's super easy. But before that, it's like, it's like foreign to you, and you're there going, what do I do? But I self-taught myself editing using the power of Google and YouTube. It's actually, I found it not too hard at all once I got going, and now I train people on it, and it's just like, it's a matter of like knowing what it's called, like what a split is, and and like topping and tailing. So that must be cutting out the start and end. You know, in video, that's trimming. It's the same sort of, it's pretty much the same world, but it's just a matter of starting to know the terms. And also, I always recommend, like, for my first, okay, so I'd say for my good first 20 videos, I did not edit at all. Like, I had my finger in them. I had, you know, that awkward bit at the start. And I've gotten a lot better at recording, so I don't look so awkward. So before I turn on the camera now, I'm like, you know, pressing the button with a smile, because I find that's the worst bit, is when people are looking like frustrated, and then they do their video, and then the end is them going, you know, it's just kind of kills the moment.
Periscope, when I first, you know, sometimes you kind of pull down the little thing to stop. You know, like, oh, come down. How do I?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
But, you know, Facebook Live and Periscope and all these things, they're also training the audience to be used to it not being perfect. And I found that over time, like, I leave in ums and ahs. I didn't earlier today. I was recording and a fly flew in my eye, so I had to restart that video. But normally I leave in the mistakes, because at first I was really, really anal about cutting them out and making it all look perfect and scripting and all that stuff. And I found that the more perfection I tried to add, it was like cutting out the humanness of the video. And every time you leave that stuff in, people comment on it. They love it. It makes them go, oh, you're just like me. You're human too. And so I found that and it's scary for people, but using your very first take, and if something happens, just going, oh, look, something just happened there, and then continuing on, it actually ends up creating a much stronger connection. Most people, they won't do it though. They'll be really perfectionist for ages, and suddenly it's like something just lets go and they realize, oh, it's okay to just be me. And then it's a lot easier, and you don't have to do so much editing and stuff.
Well, that sounds great. So if anyone listening wants to join the challenge, I need my affiliate link over there, because I've joined already. It says Light It Up Video Challenge with URL under it. Let me just click it to make sure it works, so I didn't do anything wrong. At first, I just put in the
straight link.
Oh, welcome to your hang on. Okay.
And they're hearing me.
Yes, and then I used a shorter, one of those link shorteners. I'm learning how to do things like that. Like, oh wait, that is a really long link up there, so I will go. I use buffer to shorten it for me. So
very cool.
Okay, so quick question though: adding video to your marketing stuff, how has that affected the finances in your business?
Well, okay. So when I was first successful, I was using paid ads. So my very first business, I had my very first success from doing paid ads, going straight to a written blog post. And so how it affected finances is, as soon as I started using video, everything, like basically my cost for marketing disappeared, because I no longer needed to pay. And what I found was that it just fast tracked so much for me. So now I almost never pay for advertising. Sometimes I'll boost a post, but what I do mostly is I have a YouTube channel, and the YouTube channel has new videos going out on it. They don't get a ton of views. But I have a lot of videos that over the years have created, they start to sort of gain traction after a bit. So I get like 12,000 views on YouTube a month. And so that's like my new people. And then they come into my list and they follow me, or they come over and find me on Facebook. I hang out on Facebook. That's kind of my space. And so they'll come find me, and quite often someone will send me a message and say, I've been watching your videos for this long. This is what I like about them. This is the situation I'm in. And then I can kind of recommend to them what they want to do. But I literally spend nothing on marketing. Well, I have my little tools and things, like I don't have anything directly related to video, but recently I got Buffer so that my VA could post as me in different places, and she could put things where I want them to be. But literally, other than that, I don't think I have any costs that are related to video marketing. But it did take time to kind of build to that level. And I was really focused for the first bit. I was doing like 5 videos a week. So it was like a video a day, but they're only 2 minutes. And then, and now I've moved to doing 3 videos a week, but I went through like 6 months where I didn't put any new videos, and it didn't make much difference because I had the traction already with YouTube. But it is something to build for sure. So
yeah,
so it helps the finances.
Yeah, and I'm curious about YouTube because, like I said, I've not used it a lot, but I'd like to start using it more. So that's part of why I'm in the challenge, and it would be great to lower. Well, I don't do a whole lot of paid ads myself right now, but to get that kind of traction without having paid ads sounds really good. What do you guys think?
Yeah, it ended up feeling like one video was the same as like 5 blogs, in terms of the impact it would have. And it just speeds everything up. So it's super hard to quantify. But I've definitely found that by the time someone gets to me, they know me so well that they're like pretty much decided if they want to work with me or not. And like by the time someone gets on the phone with me, we like, it does feel like, and sometimes it's a little awkward. Like I went to this is really strange, but I went to an industry event a couple of years ago, and then people had been watching my videos, and I had someone literally follow me to a bathroom stall talking to me about, videos and all these things. And I realized that, and it was really awkward for me at first because I'm a huge introvert. And that's why actually introverts tend to love video, because you can create the connection without having to actually talk to someone. But all these people would come up and be like, Niamh, and act like they knew me. And I was like, I have no idea who you are. So I found that a little awkward and strange at first.
So I think that happens to celebrities all the time.
Oh yeah, well not in regular life.
Well, I met Mike Myers once, and I for a moment didn't know where I knew him from, but he was so familiar. Mike Myers, the comedian who did like Austin Powers and all that stuff.
Awesome.
We were in a bar, we were playing a show, and he knew someone in one of the other bands, I guess, and he was at the bar, and he was so familiar that I was like, I looked up and just went, hey. And then, it took a few minutes to be like, oh, yeah, you don't know me. Like, I feel like I know you because your face is so familiar to me. I've watched so many. Yeah, and then I felt really obviously.
I know celebrities in real life. It's like, whoa.
Yeah. And they have no idea who we are, but we feel like we know them because we've seen their faces a lot. So that's probably what it's like within your industry. That's exciting.
Yeah. I mean, it was really cool. And actually, locally, I had a friend whose mother was like, I think I saw your friend on Facebook in a video, and I was like, that's really strange. Like, that's really a little bit uncomfortable because I like to hide out in my house in the country where no one knows where I am. But
Emma, do you use video in your marketing at all?
I've got a few on a YouTube channel, but I definitely need to join your group, I think, and take your course because it's definitely neglected. And a few things that you were saying about how it has a much bigger impact than the blogs and everything like that. That's really appealing to me because I don't have a huge amount of time at the moment.
Yeah.
A podcast, but I definitely would love to do video more. I do actually use Snapchat, but I'm not down with the kids enough quite yet.
I just don't get it really yet.
Snapchat. I have Snapchat, but I'm not using it to its full potential either.
I feel like now that loads of 30-somethings are joining it, it's not quite 90% selfies and then food. So there's a few people that are quite interesting on there. But yeah, I definitely need to take your course, I think.
Yeah, cool. Jump on the challenge. It's starting on Monday, so we're gonna have fun.
What about you, Jennifer? Do you use video?
The only thing I have on YouTube right now is 2 grant trainings. Not anything that's in my passion work. It's in the work that I've been doing for 20 years. And I've offered a few grant writing trainings and posted those just because I think we did them through YouTube, or we did them somehow and then it automatically posted to YouTube. I'm not even sure how to get things from me to there or vice versa. That's kind of where I am in my skill level with videos. So I might be in your 30-day challenge.
Yeah, the first video is like, go upload to YouTube, and it like shows you where to go and upload on YouTube. So
yeah.
Well, people start there. Everyone starts there, not knowing what the heck they're doing. So
yeah, I thought I needed to get the DSLR camera and stuff like that, and I don't think so anymore. I think just
I have
this little thing right here.
This is an iPhone 4S, and this is still like I've had it for like 6 years or 5 years. I still record on this because I got a new camera, but it was too high definition, and my face, you could like see everything. And I was like, I'm going back to the one that's like not so high definition. I look a little bit prettier. So you don't need high tech.
Yeah, even just knowing that stuff is helpful. You know, I have a Samsung S4, I think. So I don't even know if that's better or if my computer's better, or you know, just that basic stuff, the technology of it before you even get in front of it.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
and this,
Yeah, not quite there yet. I'm learning Twitter.
I don't know Twitter. It's confusing.
you know, Niamh, somehow I wasn't following you. I just started following you today.
On Twitter?
Yeah, I haven't
Yeah, you know,
posted
I
anything
have it
really.
set so that like, yeah, I have it set so that YouTube automatically posts to it, and I log in like maybe once every couple of years. I like to keep things simple, because otherwise I just get really overwhelmed. So it's like I have my YouTube and I have my Facebook, and I'm sure I could do Snapchat and Periscope and all the other things, but I was like, I find it much easier to just focus my energy on a couple of places and like get a lot of buzz going there, and then just ignore everything else, because otherwise I just don't have the bandwidth to learn it, you know?
Well, and it looks like you're on there because of the auto posting. So when I looked at it, you had some recent stuff. So I was like, oh, okay. And I retweeted a few things for you, but
Cool.
If you want to find out more about joining Mastering Money Matters yourself, go to my website, jenturrell.com, and click on the Mastering Money Matters button in the navigation bar.
And social media, but kind of the drive for me, because I've had my freelance lifestyle blog for about 4 years now, and the drive for me was when I started, I didn't feel like there was a support structure there.